Everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christy's World again. To my returning subscribers, thank you for always. If it's your first time here, you're welcome to join this family. Please do click on the subscribe button and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. But of course, I'm certain you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be thought-provoking. So guys, I couldn't sleep last night because this was like a very huge burden on my heart. I couldn't sleep. I woke up around 3 a.m. to feed my baby and I just stayed awake thinking about it. I wanted to initially write my thoughts on my WhatsApp status, but I felt it was going to be a very long thread. So I said, let me try and make a video on it, and I think I'll prefer that because videos will be more lasting. So if you're a parent or you intend becoming a parent sometimes in the future, I'll appreciate that you watch this and probably drop me your thoughts at the end of the video on what you think. So what brought about these thoughts? A few days ago, I posted a video of my baby on my WhatsApp status watching this CoComelon series cartoon, and I was like, I wish you wouldn't get addicted to this, even though at this point it really helps my husband and I a lot to work, because most times it keeps her distracted while we work. So yeah, a lot of people were sharing their thoughts and opinions, and some person said to them like, cartoon is just the best as far as it's educative, it's very good for kids, which is what I feel, which is also my opinion. I feel it really makes children very smart, very intelligent, okay, and they're just kids, like they'll outgrow it, they'll not watch cartoons forever, okay. So but there was this particular response from a friend I engaged with, and at the end of the day I said my own, what me I feel, my opinion, she said hers, and I just left it at that. Like, I've come to a point in my life where I don't argue things anymore, because the truth is that we cannot all see things from the same perspective as human beings. We can't, okay? But then I've also learned to respect people's wishes. But another thought, I was now really thinking, I really just want to know what people think about this. I'm going to share my opinion, what I think or how I think parenting should go, and what the other person's opinion was, and then let me know your thoughts. You see, when it comes to parenting, it is one subject matter in life that has really scared the hell out of me. I've really been so scared of parenting. In fact, I was so scared of nurturing kids that I had to tell my husband that we're not going to have kids in the first 1 year of our marriage. Like, let's even try to figure out marriage, figure out ourselves, and think about how to start raising kids. But of course, because God is not man, what happened, and then we had our baby unplanned. And thank God for that. It's one of the most happiest thing that ever happened to us. But that's a story for another day. So parenting scares me a lot, because growing up, I've seen parents keep the kids, like going through university, I saw a lot. Children who their parents will be at home, you know, boasting, my child is this, my child is that. But the child is such an eyesore, like out there in the society. Like, it breaks my heart. I can't just begin to imagine what the parents of this will feel when they get to know their world or their kids are behaving like this. And I'm not even really blaming the parents for poor upbringing. You know, children can just have a mind of their own. Like, I have a less than a 1-year-old kid, and I'm seeing how strong-willed she is. When she wants something, she just wants it. Like, you just need to be firm sometimes as a parent and stand your ground and insist that they will not have this. So imagine, like, God created human beings to have a mind of their own. So no matter how you want to cage that child, discipline that child, train that child, at the end of the day, what they turn out to be is what they decide they want to be. Okay? So parenting really scares me because I kept saying I can give my 101% to this. I can give my best to this. I can give everything I know to this, and then these children will turn out to just, go a path they want to go. And then what can you do? You can't kill them. They're your children. You can't disown them. And a lot of times parents say they disown their kids, but now lie. You cannot. A child you gave birth to, you can just say with your mouth, but they still remain your child. Now I don't want to digress. So let me go back to the origin of the gist. So this person responded to my status and said, that I beg she does not listen to all those people that say reduce screen time, blah blah blah, cartoon helps a lot. I said yes, I agree, it helps a lot. So somehow we entered another discussion, and she said her own is as far as she can train her kids, discipline them, and I said yes, very good. He said she knows somebody whose child is just 17-year-old, and the child is claiming to be an atheist, and then the parents are Christians. That no, that all those people that do all this, do screen time, do that, at the end of the day they are failing in some aspects. How can you, a parent, claiming one religion, saying you're a Christian, and a child who is not even yet 18 is saying that they go by atheism? That it can never be her, it can never happen in her house, not under her watch, none of her children can do that. Sincerely, that sounded funny to me. I said people have mind though. Like, I want to come to a point where I can be bold enough to say never, my children can never do this. People have mind. So I tried to share my own thoughts with her, which is what I want to share with us, how I think parenting should be, and I want to hear your thoughts. So I said 17 years to me is not a kid. She's not too young to say this is what she wants to do. And as a parent, I don't even think it's wise to enforce a child to take a particular route in life. You are there to guide them. You are there to teach them. When your child questions one or two things you believe in, you don't enforce it. Talk more of something like Christianity, religion. Like, do you know what Christianity is? It is not a tradition you hand over. Like, that's how I understand Christianity. The Christianity I know, I don't know about any other religion. I'm a Christian. But the Christianity I know is not something you enforce to someone. It comes by conviction. It is faith-based. I'm a Christian. And I'm a Christian not because my parents are Christians. Yes, being born in a Christian home must have influenced maybe my paths in life I took sometimes. But I mean, I'm old enough to maybe begin to reason if this was not making sense. Oh, I don't want to affiliate with this. I don't want to be this. But then I grew up. I did my own research. I did my own thinking. I got my own convictions that were personal to me. And I feel I want to tread this path. Do you understand? And I'm going to teach my kids. Tell them what I believe in. And only pray and hope that they get convinced. I don't believe in a kind of Christianity where, oh, while I'm watching you, you are being a Christian. And when you go out there, you are being something else. So she kept saying things like, so when I said my thoughts that I don't think that's a bad thing. That even shows that the child is logical. The child is thinking. Because, see, it is not by saying it can never happen. It can never be me. It can never be in my house. You see, children of this generation, I think parents just have to shock pad their hearts, because no matter how woke you think you are, you will see wokeness on another level. Children of this generation will question everything to the T, and they will not take you just have to because you have to for an answer. You must explain why you do the things you do. So if your kids are still little, or you are yet to have kids, and you are there saying, can never be in my house, it can work for you. I don't know how your own upbringing is or how you see parenting as, but I want to share my own opinion. I don't think that's the right way to parent, in my own opinion. So she went ahead to say things like that even at old, okay, this person is married and with 2 kids, that even in her old age, there are still some things she cannot do in her parents' presence because she respects them. And this is me who cannot relate. I don't know the thing I can do in my mom's absence that I cannot do in her presence. I used to be a very conservative Christian. Very, very conservative. No earrings, no trousers, no this, no that. The very first time I began wearing trousers, where I wore it to was, I wore it home. Let my mom see, this is me. Like, it doesn't feel like it will make sense to me that somebody sees me outside and tells her, oh, I see your daughter doing this. And like, my siblings and I, over time, we've got to ask my mom, like, how did you really do this parenting thing? Like, how did you do it? Because I'm not saying we are perfect, but I just love the relationship between my mom and we, and even her does not have an answer. She says she does not know. She can't really say this is what she did, but all she ensured to do was to make sure that we were her friends, we felt comfortable with her. We could ask my mom questions. Like, but don't take me wrong, my mom was a disciplinarian. When we were growing up, Jesus Christ, I had got to some point I had to ask myself if this woman was really the one who gave birth to me. My mom was a disciplinarian par excellence. She handled my brother and I, we talked through. But I think when it came to the last 2 kids, she began getting tired. It was my brother and I that, and then I saw that, you see, all this too much beating, all this, it doesn't really solve anything. Because the more, a child will always be a child. Like, their thinking faculty will always. So I discovered that while we were growing up, the more they beat us for a particular wrong, the more we keep doing that thing. Even after crying, the more we keep. So I just felt there ought to be a better way to parenting than enforcing. By the end of the day, I'm really glad that despite all, we could feel her real love for us. My mom was not there to enforce you, you must do this. Her own is to correct you where you do wrong, discipline. Then felt free with us, discussed with us. Amongst my siblings and I don't think there's anything at all any one of us wants to embark on or do, and our mom is not the first person we tell. We don't hide things from her. We just want to know her opinion. All these things, they say some people block their parents on their social media handles, on their WhatsApp to their parents. Like me, I cannot relate. My mom is my #1 hype person. I can't hide things from her. In my single days, when I start talking to somebody, like talking to a guy or something, my mom is the first person I will tell about it. Let me know her opinion, let me know what she thinks. And same with my siblings. Like, it's just like that. We don't hide things from our mom, except maybe things you really feel are very, very confidential, your private life. Not like you are living a different life outside and then you come back home, you want to show what your mom wants to see. So in this my discussion with this lady, she said that her own, the way she believes it is that as far as she's enforcing the, as in this is what she believes, this is what she knows, this is what she wants her kids to do. As far as they're in her house, under her roof, they must do it. But if they go out, they can be anything they want to be. And me, I kept asking myself, so that child outside, is it different from my child? Is it not the same person I want at home? Like, am I raising them for myself? I think the idea should be raising kids the way you want them to be wherever they find themselves, and not that they are outside, they have a different kind of life. When they are with you, they be that life they want you to be, except if you are difficult parents, which I think that's how the thought of that parenting is going. So I think parenting that way, enforcing kids to do what you believe, what you want, without providing logical reasons, it can only make them conform to what you want to see at that moment, at that point. And then the main aim, the main goal of training, of parenting is now lost, because outside that child is something else. And okay, she kept sitting on the fact that okay, the person was still 17. See, to me, this adulthood age of 18 is just a number. Like, to me, I feel that thing you want to do at 17, please do that thing you want to do at 25 or at 20, please do it at 16, at 17, while you are with me. Let me see. a wrong does not automatically turn to right because it was an adult doing it. What you feel is not right, irrespective of the age of whoever does it. That is what I believe. And 18 is only just but a number. So okay, if the person declares to be a Christian at 17 and then gets to 18 and say, oh, I'm an atheist, or this is what I want to do, it's fine. Does it make you fine? I don't think so. For me, oh, before I became a parent, all this, I used to, wonder how parents who had kids who were maybe above 20, 40, do they still feel like they're kids? Like, see, you remain your parents' babies no matter how old you are. Like, sometimes I look at my daughter, how helpless she is, how dependent on me she is, how she looks up to me to provide her needs. Just how helpless. I think of how the whole process of conception, carrying the pregnancy, caring for her as a baby, caring for her as a toddler. I don't think that memory can ever erase from my head, even if she grows up to be 90 years old. Like, she still remains my baby. She still remains my baby. So that's why I think the adulthood age thing is just a scam, if you ask me. So I don't know if my thoughts are really coming together. This is not a video I thought about. I was just thinking about this and said, let me share what I think. So to me, the way I think I'm going to parent, I want my kids to ask me questions. Don't just do things because mommy says it must be so. Yeah, for Christians, I understand that the Bible said, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. You can only but do your best when it comes to parenting. And I think a lot of people miss the concept of what training a child is. A lot of kids were not properly raised. They were more of like no respect for the kids, no honor, no nothing. A lot of Nigerian parents are on this table. I gave birth to you. What I said you will do is what you must do. This, that. And that child will just be doing what you want as far as they're in your house. But as soon as they leave, they turn to a nuisance you can never, ever imagine or think. I think as parents, we should begin to have this mindset that children are also human beings. They have emotions. They have willpower. That you gave birth to them, even God that created you has not made the kind of demands on your life the way you are making on your children. I don't know if you understand. So for me, I feel that's the best way to parent. Guidance, training, this. Let my children be free to ask me questions. Instead of them keeping boyfriend outside and hiding the boyfriend, like, bring your boyfriend home to me. Let me see who you are dating. Let me see who you are with. Do you understand? And it takes a certain level of freedom and acceptance for your kids to be free with you, to let you into certain aspects of their life. That is how I want my parenting to be. I don't want a kind of parenting where my kid will be comfortable doing something with me, but when they're outside, they're a different person. I've seen kids of pastors, I grew up in a very conservative church. Growing up, some of those now, those Pirikoko brothers, there are some children who were giving their parents headache, and you hear some of them saying they still had kids about 2-3 years old, the ones. They'll be like, it can never be me. And okra can never be longer than whoever planted it. No matter how old you think, as my child, I'll just break you. I'll just do this. I'll just do that. Hey, God. Like, I was still very young, but I keep wondering at the audacity. Like, what gives you the impetus? You think that child will be that 2-year-old they are forever? That will always call when they hear your voice. That will always run when they hear your voice. You think they will remain so? Can never be my child. Can never be in my house. I think what you should just be praying or saying is that God grants your children the grace and the wisdom to make the right decision and not to be a disgrace to you when the time comes. That is when you know it is not by how much of a bully or how much of a disciplinarian you are. Children have a mind of their own, and they can still be doing what you want because they are still under your roof. You are still providing food for them. You are still providing shelter. You are still providing clothing. But they've resented you in their hearts. They don't love you because To you, you might be feeling you are trying to mold them into it's for their help, it's going to help them. But if a child is seeing it from a place of resentment, they can never take that training. So I think it's just better that my opinion, and sincerely is my opinion, and that's how me I want to raise up my own kids. I want to raise kids that will ask me questions. Not do this, they do it. No, I don't want to bomb mumu. Ask me questions. That's what make me feel or know that you really have sense. Do you understand? When I was growing up, I felt so free with my mom that I could discuss everything with her. I started having suitors from the age of 16, 17, serious suitors. As an average Igbo girl, an average Igbo girl is being raised to get married off. That's just the truth. So your family don't want to know, oh, do you have plans? Well, I don't know. I'm the first girl, but I just turned out different. My mom was married off, even though she was very intelligent, very intelligent, has future and plans. But then her parents were late and her guardians married her off as soon as she wrote WAEC. Okay, and I kept telling my mom, you don't like this experience, but then every day you keep hitting early marriage into my ear when I was growing up, early marriage. What is even the benefit of this early marriage? Then we had one very close family member who got divorced and all of that. I was very young, like 16, but then I read a lot. I was quite exposed. I was seeing a lot of things. I was telling my mom, I don't think early marriage is the goal. I think the goal is marrying right. I told her because I started having suitors then, she was scared. She was like, hey, don't go and start doing shakara now. A woman has flower time. Have you heard the day? What is all those rubbish people used to say? A woman has flower time. When your time pass, that it's not as if you not marry. Don't just say no. Marry the one that has sense, that will still want to train you in school. And I said, what happens to me pursuing a life myself? Like, I'm just still 16, 17. I'm still too young to be talking about. We're having this conversation. And I told her, you that married early, do you like it? Do you like how it's going? And she said she does not like it, but that does not mean that I'm going to marry the kind of person she married. I said, how can you tell? That there's nothing empowers a woman more than, seeing life for yourself, understanding what you want before you settle for it, as especially issues as critical as marriage. This is not like marriage. By the time I sat my mom down, I finished telling her what I think about marriage and what I really want to be before I start considering marriage. She was wild. She was looking at me like, how do you learn all these things? Where did you learn all these things from? I told her, that's so you see that I'm not playing. I know what I'm doing. So I had to calm her mind and convince her. We had this discussion. Do you understand? We had this discussion at every point in time in my life, growing up, when I entered a relationship, when I had issues, she knew. Do you get? I felt free telling her things, which I think is the kind of relationship we should have with our kids. It makes it better, sincerely. See, the last thing you want to experience in this life is parent-child rancor. You really don't want to grow up and you're not in talking terms with your kids. I don't want to experience it. I don't even want to feel what it is like. Like, sometimes I just think, the way this my child is now like this, I'm literally giving up my life just to help her, just to raise her. The kind of jobs I'm supposed to be taking, I'm not taking them. The kind of money I'm supposed to be pursuing, I'm not pursuing them. The kind of self-developmental things I'm supposed to be doing, I'm not doing them. Before I buy one clothes for myself, I've bought 10 for my kid. Before I think about what to do for myself, I think about her first, like her first. Instead of her to not eat, I rather forfeit my meal. Do you understand? All these sacrifices, all these things. And then you grow up one day and you look at me in the face and say, to hell with you. I don't think I can recover from. I don't even want to imagine it. It may not be my portion. I know your portions watching this. Like, I don't want to imagine it. So my point remains that these kids will not always be kids. Trust me. They will not always be children. They will grow up. If you say, when you are in my house, I'm feeding you, I'm clothing you, a time will come, they will make their own money and leave your house. Does it stop them from being your kids? I want to maintain a very good relationship with my kids, irrespective of how old they are. I want my kids to be free with me. I want my kids to ask me questions. That crazy thing you want to do outside, do it at home. Let me see. So if you're a parent and you buy my idea, I just want you to reconsider. So generally in life, I even avoid giving my opinions on things because life has humbled me, especially things I've not had first-hand experience on. I try to not, if it is me. The truth is that if it is you, you will not do anything. You don't think you love your kids more than those people. Sincerely, just pray that you are not caught in a situation or in a condition where you can't really do anything. Because you will not throw your child away. That's just the truth. And like I said, you don't really want to experience what parent-child rancor is. It will break you beyond words, beyond reason. So as much as you can, at least I'm a parent now. I'm talking from a little place of experience. Love your children and don't love them in the way you think is love. Love them in the way they understand. So that when you try to train them, when you try to discipline them, when you try to guide them or lead them in the path they should go, they should understand it that it is from a place of love and not mommy is just too pussy, mommy is just too hard. And it only creates a kind of, see, when you are trying to enforce something on somebody, take yourself as an example. The only way my husband, like, one of the things I like him for, and which is, I don't know, it's just his wisdom. He doesn't just use it to me, he uses it to every other person. He does not enforce you to do anything. Oh my god, time has really gone. I want this to end at 30 minutes. He does not enforce you to do anything. He rather dialogues with you. And 99% of the time, I see myself doing what my husband really wants. I can be a very stubborn person, especially when you want to enforce it on me. This is what we are going to do and you must do it. I can be very stubborn. But God just gave him this wisdom. And he always wants to know what I think, and that's sincerely. And not because he doesn't just take yes or no from me as an answer. He presents a case like, what do you think? This. Even though deep down that is what he wants to be done. But he wants to be sure that I understand it from his perspective and I am buying into that idea. So that at the end of the day, when you are doing that thing, you'll not be doing it as something that somebody forced you to do. You'll be doing it from a place of personal understanding. I got to understand this. I got to know this. Do you get it? It's more long lasting. So I see a lot of parents do this mistake. I'm the one that born you. You must do this. You must do that. It only makes your children repulsive towards you. It only makes them stubborn. So come down from your high horse chair, okay? Make your children your friend. See them like normal human being. Don't see them like you know now. I don't know how parents all over the world are, but I'm talking as a Nigerian that I am. Parents feel my child, I must tell you what I say is what you will do. It doesn't work that way. Except you want to give birth to a dundee, like a child that does not have sense. Do you understand? So you just need to also come down to their level. I know you love your kid, but ask God for wisdom on how best to raise them. It's not by force. It's not by you must. I have prepared my mind for anything that is going to happen. I'm just going to do my best and pray that my children take the right decision as they are growing up. Follow the right path as they are growing up. What will not harm them. They should just, whether I'm there, whether I'm not there, they should be doing something I am proud of. And I think that's the goal. So I don't know if I've been able to just gather my thoughts together, but these are just jumbled thoughts I have about parenting. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear what you think. So guys, thank you for watching. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. See you when next we'll see. I love you. Bye-bye. It's still 15 seconds to 30 minutes. I'm starting work like very soon. But then, like I said, I wanted to ease this off my heart. And I said to come make this video. So sincerely, if you watch this point, drop me your thoughts, drop me your opinion. I'd like to know what you think, okay? Love you. Bye.